don't look very often online, but when I do, I'm like,
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Unity of Wilmington, our spiritual home. Please join us as the celebration singers start today's service.
I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. I'm walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. I'm walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm living and loving with my mind stayed on spirit. I'm living and loving with my mind stayed on spirit. I'm living and loving with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Now it's officially good morning, good morning, good morning. Unity of Wilmington here in Wilmington, North Carolina, where the sun is shining and it's cool today. I know, not quite sweater weather yet, but we're getting there. Bringing us to service this morning, we have in our sound booth Christopher Dean, who's responsible for the lights and the videos and stuff. On music, we have the Celebration Singers, plus our music director, Katie Dean. And our soloist will be Max Iapalucci. Our speaker for the day is Dr. Ellen Contente, and our prayer partner is Chris Mullen. So I would like to welcome anybody who is here for the first time. All right, terrific, that's awesome. You're here for the first time? Great. One of our ushers will bring you a welcome packet, which we ask for some data that you can complete, and we will be happy to contact you if you like. Anybody here for the second or third time? Even better. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For all of you out in Cyberland, glad you joined us, and when you're in town, please stop by on Sunday morning. Please join me in our statement of faith. There's only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God the good omnipotence. And now for our affirmations. I am beloved expression of God. I am here for a holy purpose. I am in the right place at the right time, right now. Chris Mullen will read our daily word.
Good morning. And our daily reading, daily word for September 17th is titled Joy. God's joy blesses each day of my life. The aroma of my favorite foods from childhood brings a happy memory to mind. Hearing the voice of a dear one's warms my heart. Looking upon a newborn's face for the first time evokes a feeling words can't even describe. While the giddy excitement of a child's joy may now be a memory, the joy I know today still delights me. Each day I embrace more completely the joy of knowing I am a living expression of God. God's love lives as me. God's wisdom is within me. It may guide me to a deepening understanding of myself and the world around me. The love I share with people who are dear to me is God's love, living in each heart and expressing as each of us. What greater joy could there be? And Peter wrote to the church in 1 Thessalonians, rejoice always. And so it is.
And so it is. And now Max will sing for us.
On a clear day, rise and look around you, and you'll see who you are. On a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star. You'll feel part of every mountain, sea, and shore. You can hear from far and near a world you've never heard before. And on a clear day, on a clear day, you can see forever and ever.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you, Max. And multi-talented. Didn't know he could play the piano as well. So good morning and welcome everyone to the third Sunday in, I was going to say August. It's actually September. The temperature outside feels like it's August, but it is September. And it is Vitality Month, so we're going to use that into our meditation this morning. So I invite everyone, get comfortable in your seat. Just relax. Close your eyes, as well online if you're following. And let's just start by taking a nice deep breath in. And let it out. Allowing the breath to just flow through us. And we're going to go on a little journey together. On this clear day. So just envision yourself wherever you are. Perhaps you're in your backyard. Maybe you're at the beach. Or maybe you're on the highest mountain. And it's a beautiful, clear day. And you can just see forever. And you look out across the mountain, across the beach, across your yard, and you see possibility. beautiful future, perfect divine health, vibrant energy, joy, love, peace, and prosperity. And you can see this. You feel this. This is right here and right now. And breathing in this beautiful truth, this reminder that when I open up and allow all the beauty and the joy that is present, I am that. And as I look around my beautiful surroundings, wherever I am, I see just an expansive awareness of my connection to the divine and to each and every person, because we are all one. I can see forever. And as we continue to know this truth, we embody that. Because I can see that within. And it is just a reflection as I look out into my world of who and what I am. And so let's take another nice, long, slow, deep breath in and release. And let's just bring our focus and our awareness back here, back to our seats, just ever so gently wiggling our fingers and our toes. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and open up your eyes. Thank you, Kate. And I can see all of you, what beautiful faces. As Dr. Herbert likes to say, give yourselves a round of applause. I love that. I love that we get to applaud ourselves, so thank you for that. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so happy to be with all of you today. Welcome online. I hope that you follow along in the chat. And as I said, this is Vitality Month, and the name of my talk today is Going with the Flow. So I better move my little accoutrements over here closer to me so I have my remote. So you know what it is also today, as you know, I like to have multiple things that I talk about. So today is also Citizenship Day. Anybody know that? Citizenship Day. Yeah, and it was started, actually I didn't get the year that it was started, but it's the day that we reflect as Americans what it means, you know, to be a responsible citizen. And so I was thinking about that in terms of, you know, unity, in terms of being, you know, a spiritual person. What are our responsibilities to being a spiritual person, of being a good citizen of unity? So I want you to be thinking about that as we go through our lesson today. So it's you know, if we could tie it back to the principles of unity, it all ties back to principle number 5. And I'm going to be talking about that in my class. So a little plug about the 5 principles coming up next month. And that's, you know, the tenets of unity is to follow the 5 principles. And the 5th principle is living these practices. So being a good citizen means to live our spiritual practices. And of course, being a good citizen of Wilmington and our communities and the country and the planet is to recognize that we are all one. So my talk today, though, is, tied back to vitality and going with the flow, going with the flow. So the first quote here is by Eric Butterworth, who is a Unity minister, life asks of you only that you flow with it. Life asks of you only that you flow with it. And so think about it. We are a flowing machine. We've got blood flowing through us. Right? We breathe. We've got, what do we have flowing through us? Air, oxygen flowing through us. We have thoughts always flowing through us. Creativity flowing through us. We are flowing machines. Right? Dynamic flow expresses as you. It is you. And so life asks just that you be you. I mean, literally, just be you. That is the flow of life. But how many of us dam the flow? No, back there, Teresa's like, no, not me. I don't dam the flow at all, right? But we resist. We resist things. And when we resist, we stop the flow. And, we stop that so often with, unconscious, beliefs, things that are kind of hidden below the surface. And we don't even realize that until we're dealing with, feeling stuck. And we're like, what's going on? Well, somewhere I'm damming the flow. And Paul said, my God will supply every need of yours according to his riches. That doesn't mean everything I want, I'm going to have. A need equals a vessel. Our needs are a vessel. And riches is the flow. So if we go to a spigot of water with a vessel, and we hold it under the vessel, upside down, what's going to happen? It's not going to fill up. It's not going to fill up, and that's what happens when we resist. That's what happens when we have negative, limiting thoughts. It's like going to the spigot with your vessel upside down. It can't fill up, right? So we have to go to the flow, open, ready to receive. So when we're in the flow, we are vibrant, we are alive, we are vital, we are vitality when we are in the flow. And, you think about the whole idea of going with the flow. It's also about being flexible, right? People say, just go with the flow. Just go with the flow, which is, not resisting. But it doesn't mean give in. Just go with the flow. It's not giving in to something you don't want. It's not giving up on something you want by just, I'll just go with the flow. Because we actually have to discern, right? And know who we are. Are we fighting against the flow? Or are we allowing? So let's look at our affirmation. We're going to do this actually 3 times throughout today. So, I am vibrant, radiant, and in the flow. Let's say that together. I am vibrant, radiant, and in the flow. All right. Now, how can we be more vibrant? How do we practice, our spiritual practices? What are some of the things that we can do? Well, as I said, it is Citizenship Day, so we could be good members of Unity. And for those of you that are members of Unity, thank you. And for those of you that you're here for the first time, the second, the third time, right, being a member means that you get to vote on things that you want to do. Just like as a citizen of the United States, you get to vote when you are a citizen. So being a good citizen also helps us be vibrant and in the flow. We also get to participate in acts of service. That's another way to be more vibrant and vital. Right? You'll notice we have the Good Shepherd bucket outside, so we can add to that, and other programs. You can be a volunteer on one of our service teams. That's another way to be a good citizen of Unity. And we can also practice soulful, reading spiritual text, going into classes, doing the kinds of things that puts us in the flow of spiritual principles. So, being vital is also about being strong and active. That's what vitality is, being strong and active. Now, let's see some of the other things that we do here. So, there is never a limit to the flow, only a belief in limitation which restricts it. So there's never a limit. It's our mindset, it's our negative beliefs that resist that. So there's a story about Dave Brubeck. Anybody know who he is? Yeah, he's a very incredibly talented jazz, improvisational jazz musician. And his concerts were never exactly the same. He would literally get up on stage and just improv. Whatever spirit wanted him to play, he would play. That's why he was so famous and incredibly talented. Well, there's a story where he was traveling from one venue to another, and all of a sudden he had this fear overcome him, doubt. What if I can't think of something new to play? What if I get up on stage and nothing comes to me or comes through me? And they were driving through a snowstorm, and as he's watching the windshield wipers, smack the snow off the windshield, it dawned on him that there's no two snowflakes exactly alike. There's no two snowflakes exactly alike, and it was like a light bulb moment went off, like, aha, if there's no two snowflakes alike and there's always new snowflakes, then I will always have new ideas. And he realized the only thing that's getting in the way of my creativity or flow is my own fear and doubt. So he was able to release that. And I just started reading a book. Actually, Jose brought it home from here, called Truth Ideas of an MD. And it was written back in the 20s or the early 30s. And, there's a whole chapter on aging at the very end. And it talks about how, we have this collective consciousness around aging, around getting old. And Psalm 90:10 says, the length of our days is 70 years, 80 if we're strong. And we've been, kind of fed this idea that, we're just going to get senile and decrepit and get old and just die. And yet there's also stories of people living to 150, 169. I already told you a ways back, I read a book that said I'm going to live to 120. So why do we buy into this idea that we need to get old and decrepit? So, we are vibrant. We are vibrant. And we're the ones that are damming the flow with negative thinking, right? We also have this habit in this country of retiring at 65. My dad retired at 65. Right? I just turned 65. I'm thinking, I should start thinking about that. Not for a long time. But what happens, and again, this is in the book, the loss of active interest in life is one of the greatest causes of aging. And I saw it happen to my dad. After 2 years, he passed away at 68. We also have sayings like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Anybody hear that one? How many of you believe that? Yeah, because I know I'm preaching to the choir here. Right? But I have said things like that to myself, like, I don't know, maybe I'm too old to start that, right? Or we think, that's too hard. We'll have our kids figure it out for us. Like, Jess, here, could you figure out how to do this on my phone for me? I've said that many times to my son, right? Or maybe we, some of the thoughts are around our finances and money. Right? You have to work hard for your money. There's even a song, work hard for your money. Or how about you have to pay your dues? How many of you heard that growing up? You have to pay your dues. It took me many, 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 many years for me to sit at a table and believe that I earned the right to be at that table. I'm not talking about food tables, right? And, in business, leadership tables, different organizations that I belong to. Even when I first became a minister 10 years ago, sitting at a table with other ministers who'd been doing that for so many years. It was like, well, who am I to even share my ideas or my beliefs because I haven't paid my dues yet? And think about how that restricts the flow. Some of the youngest people in the world, little toddlers, have incredible ideas. Right? So We do this to ourselves, right? Many of us were brought up to, follow a certain path, right? You go to school, you get A's, you go to college, you get good grades, you get married, you have kids, you have grandkids. You just pass those beliefs down. And we're not necessarily taught, unless we were raised that way, to venture out on our own, start our own business, be an entrepreneur, do what you want to do instead of following the path. And we limit ourselves when we do that. We block the flow, that creative flow that's always there, when we feel like we have to pay our dues. Or we feel like, I have to work really hard. This is coming too easy. Something's wrong, right? I didn't work hard for this. So if we want to, open the spigots again when we're stuck, bring that vessel, open it, brainstorm with somebody else. That's another way to open that. And remember what Dr. Herbert was talking about last week as well. What's your desire? Be enthusiastic about it. Recognize that what you desire is desiring you. It's attracted to you when you're enthusiastic, when you are stepping into the flow of who you truly are. And we know where our energy goes, or our attention goes, our energy goes. So I think it's time for our affirmation again. Is everybody ready? I am vibrant, radiant, and in the flow. All right. So what else can we do to keep those spigots open? Remove all those limitations and those beliefs of limitations. So as good citizens of unity, we can pray, right? We can pray for each other. Whether that's, in a formal prayer group, or we put a request of something that we want to know, or silent unity, or we just know the truth. We co-create with spirit all the time with our mind, with our thoughts. That's also one of the unity principles, is it starts up here. So believe in what you desire. Believe in what you want to create. Focus on thoughts of abundance, prosperity, love, joy, whatever it is that you want, and know that it manifests. How about spending time in nature? What a beautiful example of vitality is being out in nature. We went to the battleship yesterday. It was something my son had wanted to do as a family. And it was the first Saturday, and I don't even know how long, that all of us were free. We were all available. So my husband and I got there about a half hour earlier, waiting for the kids. They were across the river at the fair that was going on downtown. And so we're walking around the park, and I'm walking barefoot in the grass, and it felt so amazing, so incredible, soft, and it was just to be out in nature, and it was cool yesterday, or cooler than it's been. And so we got down to the waterway, or the river bank, and as we got closer, out of the corner of our eye, we could see all the little crabs skirting around. What do crabs do? They walk? Do they scurry? I don't know what the exact term is for the way they walk. They scurry around. And so as soon as they saw a shadow, though, they all went in the sand, right? They were hiding and trying to stay safe. So I very, very, very gently laid down, prostrate right on the grass, and just waited. And within moments, they all came up from the sand. And it was, the entire area was just alive with all these different crabs, from teeny tiny, like the size of my little finger here, or fingernail, to probably about this big. Different colors, white, kind of a orangey color, gray, and some that had this giant white claw, only one giant white claw. And I was completely and utterly fascinated. Completely and utterly fascinated. It's not like I've never seen crabs before, but it was just being immersed in the vitality of nature, and just how incredibly fascinating all these different creatures are. And of course, I was thinking about my talk today, and nature just does nature. Right? It goes with the flow all the time. It doesn't resist. It goes with the flow. And it's a beautiful example for all of us when we get stuck. Get out in nature and just take it in and see. And of course, as human beings, we also have to take care of ourselves. And so this human is a divine expression of God, but we need to make sure that when we're in the flow, we're putting good, healthy food into our bodies, we're getting good sleep, we're exercising, and we're having fun. That is so important that we have fun. So let's take this just a little bit further. So Jay-Z said, don't go with the flow or against it. Be the flow. Be the flow. So don't conform, as I said before. Don't be what somebody else wants you to be, right? Don't, even conform to societal principles or norms. Be creative. Be an individual. Be your own person. Be you. Be you. You can't be in the flow any better than being you. So decide where you want to go. Going with the flow sometimes means not to go with the flow. When you think about that, going with the flow sometimes means not going with the flow. So don't go along with the crowd. Stand out. Don't do what others want you to do. Do what you want to do. Don't fight against things that you can't control. Accept them. But acceptance doesn't have to mean that I agree with that. It means that I accept that, hey, that's not mine. That's not mine. I accept that. I accept that. So you're going to create your own path. Now, life doesn't always give us what we necessarily want. But people that make their own way, right, when they decide to be the flow, it's they have taken what life has given them and created their own pathway. So let me share some examples. See if I have pictures of each of these people. Okay. This woman just absolutely in awe. This is Jessica Cox. She's the first licensed pilot without arms. She was born without arms. But she always wanted to fly. She wanted to be a pilot. Right? So she didn't resist. She became the flow. This is Tani Gray Thompson. She's a Paralympic athlete with spina bifida who went on to win multiple gold medals. Right? Once again, she didn't say, oh, well, she became the flow. And this last person, this is Jason Becker. He's a talented guitarist and musician. He was diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, at 20. But he is still composing music today. He did not go with the flow. He didn't give in. He didn't give up. He became the flow. And the last person, I don't have a photo of him, but I just watched him on TV a week ago. His name is Vance Walker. He was born with cerebral palsy. And at, I think it was 18 or 19, he won the Ninja Warrior $1 million by climbing to the very top of this tower, hit the buzzer, fastest time. And when he was born, he was told by doctors he would probably never walk. And he wouldn't accept that his life was going to be different. So he exercised and did whatever he could so that he could be like other children. And he exceeded that because he became the flow. There we go. He became the flow. There are so many more stories of people that have limitations. And they didn't give in. They didn't give up. Right? They became the flow. They followed their dreams. They followed their hearts. They followed their desires, and they did what they wanted to do. So what is our lesson today? The infinite flow of spirit is within you. So no matter what the outside looks like, the infinite flow is within each and every one of us. And there is no limitation because we are a divine expression of God. God is good. We are good. We are in the flow. We are the flow. That's right. So be the flow. Practice these principles. Practice these principles every single day. I know when each and every one of us remember, oh yeah, I'm out of principle. I'm stuck. I've dammed up the flow. Go back to the basics. Go back to the basics. Right? Be a good citizen of yourself. Be a good citizen of unity. Be a good citizen of Wilmington, of North Carolina, of the United States, of the planet, because we're all connected. So if I'm out of flow, others are out of flow. So we support, as we know, our center with our time, with our talent, with our tithes. We support our community by donating, right, and supporting causes. We support our fellow congregants when we show up, when we commune with each other, when we support each other. And I invite each and every one of you to become a good citizen of unity, as well as a good citizen of our country. So let's finish up with one more affirmation. And let's say this loud and proud and vibrant. Ready? I am vibrant, radiant, and in the flow. Yes. And what a great way to be in the flow than to be in the flow of abundance. So it is time for our affirmative giving. And as I've been sharing, your generous donations are the lifeline of our spiritual center. It helps us keep the lights on, it supports our dedicated staff, and it provides nourishing spiritual food to our beloved community. So now more than ever, your heartfelt contributions are welcome. So reach deep into your hearts, into your pockets, and support this community. It helps us come back and thrive longer and longer. So, and if you're watching online, also you can donate by clicking the donate button on our website.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful.
Thank you. Thank you, Teresa. And I know that each and every donation in this basket online goes forth to heal, multiply, and provide for each and every one of us and in our community. And it's with gratitude and thanksgiving that we allow that to be so. And so together we say, and so it is. Amen. So time for Max to come back for his second song.
I saw the sun begin to dim and felt that winter wind blow cold. A man learns who is there for him when the glitter fades and the walls won't hold. 'Cause from that rubble, what remains can only be what's true. If all was lost, there's more I gained, 'cause it led me back to you. From now on, these eyes will not be blinded by the lights. From now on, what's waited till tomorrow starts tonight. Tonight, let this promise in me start like an anthem in my heart. From now on, from now on. I drank champagne with kings and queens. The politicians praised my name. Those were someone else's dreams, the pitfalls of the man I became. For years and years, I chased their cheers, a crazy speed of always needing more. But when I stop and see you here, I remember who all this was for. From now on, these eyes will not be blinded by the lights. From now on, what's waited till tomorrow starts tonight. It starts tonight. And let this promise in me start like an anthem in my heart. From now on, from now on, from now on. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. From now on, these eyes will not be blinded by the lights. From now on, what's waited till tomorrow starts tonight. It starts tonight. Let this promise in me start like an anthem in my heart. From now on, from now on, from now on. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. And we will come back home, and we will come back home, home again. From now on, from now on, home again.
Wow. For those of us who are here, we are home again. I don't think we're going to ever leave. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Max. That was wonderful. Well, we've come to the end of another service, which is amazing how time just flies by. There's stuff happening this week which I would like to tell you about. This Wednesday on the 20th, which is the third Wednesday of the month, we will have our spiritual meditation service, and it will be done with Maya and the kirtan musician and in meditation. So that will be called Death Has No Sting. It will be starting a half hour earlier at 6:30 instead of 7 o'clock. So please be aware of that if you are planning to come. And if you haven't been here for the second and fourth Sundays when she's here, you'll be enlightened and enjoy it. Secondly, our fall gala group will be meeting after the service today. So Gail will be here to meet with you as we go forward with our planning for the November 4th event. So if you are involved with that or like to be involved with that, please stay after the service. Our community connection is, as Dr. Ellen mentioned, Reverend Ellen mentioned, is in the foyer. We are collecting for Good Shepherd's men's stuff, towels, toiletries, ponchos, stuff for the winter and the weather. So please contribute. That will go on this month and next month, and it will be delivered to Good Shepherd. Next month, starting on the 10th, Reverend Ellen will be doing a class on the 5 principles. There is a sign-up sheet in the community room. There is a cost involved with that. It's a 6-part series, and it starts on the 10th. So please avail yourself. She will delve into and help us understand better our 5 principles and how we use them to run our lives today. Okay, what else is happening? Prayer chaplain for the day is Chris Mullen. Chris, just sort of indicate who you are and where you are. He will be over by the prayer box. There is pieces of paper there for you to put in your intention. He will join you in prayer as you would like or not like. The stuff you put in for prayers here will be prayed over for 30 days here. And then those slips will go to Silent Unity for another 30 days. So please get yourself prayed up. We thank we thank our volunteers every week because they are what keeps the flow going. They row the boat. And hopefully we're all rowing in the same direction, which is a good thing. Today we would like to thank our hospitality and prayer teams. Anybody with those 2 teams, please stand up and be recognized. Our hospitality teams, our prayer teams. Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please carry on the good work. And having said that, I now invite you to join me in our closing prayer. So please stand. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God.
that peace, that prosperity, that love and joy always be with each and every one of us. Let's stay in the flow and let's be the flow. And so it is.
And so
Amen.
it is.